Hi, welcome, Andrew Bromley. We've got here from Smartline. He's a finance broker working in the Southwest region, helping a lot of families and businesses trying to get some finance, remortgages, and business loans. So thanks for joining today, Andrew.
Thanks for having me, Simona. Pleasure to be here.
Good. So we're in quite challenging times at the moment, and finance is one of the challenges. Many people are now looking to see if they can get their mortgage repayments frozen, looking to see if they can get some cash flow from the banks. So hopefully you can answer some of those questions today.
Yeah, it's certainly a challenging time for a lot of people, and I guess a lot of people are just doing the best they can at the moment.
Definitely. So to kick off, regarding the freezing of loan repayments, so mortgages in particular, or actually all loan repayments at the moment, what are you finding that the banks and the finance companies are doing? Are they allowing, say, 3 months immediate freeze, or is it 6 months? And what is the process that people need to go through?
Yeah, it's all different with different lenders. It tends to be with policy in general. Different lenders have got different ways of doing things. Most of the lenders have been really good with it, actually. So you'll find that if you do have a situation where you need to have a freeze on your repayments for whether 3 months or 6 months, it's generally going to be something that the banks are happy to do. The process in terms of getting that done is, first of all, speak to your mortgage broker or your bank directly. And if you, for whatever reason, can't get a hold of them, the next step for you to take is to, there's a whole bunch of different numbers that you can ring that the banks have available. And failing that, just check on their website. Everyone's on the internet at the moment. So check on the internet, say you're with ANZ, just type in ANZ hardship into Google, and you'll be directed pretty much straight away to a COVID page, and be able to get some details there.
Good. And does that mean then that the banks are still going to be charging interest, for example, or are they capitalising that interest and increasing the term? Can you comment on sort of how that happens?
Yeah, so what the banks are doing is, say you've got a 6 month freeze, they're going to freeze interest, freeze the repayments on that for a period of 6 months, which means that they will then capitalise that interest once you start making your repayments. We've done some calculations, and it sounds like it could be not so great, but when you take into account that 6 months is not a huge period of time over the course of a 30-year loan, which is what most loans are, and you'll find that additional amount is not too onerous, I guess. And once you've had that 6 months, hopefully that small amount extra that you have to pay is not going to break the budget.
Yeah, and certainly I think when cash is king at the moment, and when people don't really know when their income might be coming in, especially business owners, I mean, the last thing you want to think about is having to pay your big mortgages and your big loan repayments at the moment. So that's really good.
Yeah, the benefit of having that 6 month break is probably more than outweighing any sort of additional interest that you have to pay.
Yeah, and that doesn't affect your credit rating, does it? So, requesting a freeze is not sort of going to have any repercussions later in terms of refinancing or maybe getting an extra, facility, for example.
Yeah, it's a really good question, actually, and it's something that's come up quite a bit. Absolutely no problems in terms of your credit file. It will be noted as a matter of course, but it's certainly not something that's going to have any impact on future credit inquiries and so forth. So yeah, if that's something you're worried about, don't worry about it, because it's not going to be an issue.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Now, with refinancing, while we're on the topic, is that something that that people should be looking at, given that rates are quite low? And what are your recommendations?
It's a funny one, actually, because in the past I've always been a fan of, well, not a fan, but look, if you need to fix your loan for whatever reason, that's fair enough. But I'd always recommend a variable rate loan to begin with. There's just more flexibility. You can do more with the loan. You can make additional repayments if for whatever reason you need to break break the loan or refinance. If you've got a fixed loan, you can't do that. So that's why I would always recommend the variable rates for people. However, at the moment, you're looking at rates from around the sort of 2.3 or so for 2 years fixed. And the reason that's good is that rates, they pretty much can't go any lower than they are at the moment. And even if they do, who wouldn't want to have a mortgage fixed for 2 years at 2.3? It's just really, really low
Yeah.
numbers. So yeah, for the first time ever, I'm sort of recommending to people that if they, if they're going to be tied down with their loan for a couple of years, why not get it fixed? Because it's a really good option at the moment. 2.3, 2.4% per annum is really, really cheap interest. So have a look at it for sure.
Yeah, and I'm guessing, the rates aren't really forecast to go up. So, there's that level of assurity that, you know exactly what your repayments are for at least the next few years anyway.
Yeah. I think the important thing is that they're not going to go down.
No, yeah.
In terms of fixing it. So have a look at it. Having said that, a couple of years ago when people were fixing it at 4.5, they were thinking, hey, you beauty, here we go. We've got a couple of years at 4.5. So yeah, definitely have a think about that and have a talk to your broker or your bank about that, because in my opinion, it's a good option at the moment.
Yeah. Now, with situations where, let's say, we might have, made more repayments on our mortgages or our loans, and we might be able to redraw on those balances. What advice have you got for redrawing back off the loan?
Yeah, that's another good question too, actually. So before you do speak to your bank or your lender about any hardship policies, as you said before, cash is king. So redraw those funds straight away. Put them into another, it's probably a bit dodgy advice, but put it into a different account if need be, and then ask for the hardship policy after you've done the redraw. Because if you ask for the redraw, once you've asked for that hardship policy, your account's frozen, and what that means is you can't actually redraw those funds.
Yeah, wow, that's really good advice, actually. And I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't know that.
Yeah, so we've certainly had a number of people say to us, look, we've got, say, $10,000 in redraw. I had a client that actually spoke with ING directly, and while they were on the phone with ING, the customer service representative said, all right, so redraw those funds right now. And they did that. And then they said, okay, now that you've done that, we'll look at freezing your account for 6 months. So you've got the benefit of having that redraw available, those funds in a different account. Now we can actually freeze that for you for 6 months. So yeah, probably don't do it that way. Probably redraw the funds first and then speak to your lender. But certainly banks are aware of the situation at the moment. They're going to be as accommodating as possible.
Well, it's really good to hear, actually, that they were forthcoming in doing that.
Yeah, it's not usually something that you hear from banks too often, but I think ING is one of the better ones in terms of looking after their customers.
And actually, while we're on that subject of banks, are you finding the big four banks are quicker to respond or more flexible, or are you finding just across the board everyone is coming to the table?
Yeah, the big four. It's a tough one actually, because at the moment we've got huge SLA, huge timeframes where banks are getting back to people of a week, 2 weeks, and then there's other majors that are coming back straight away. So it really does depend on the bank that you're with. Your first point of call has got to be that customer service number on the website to sort of get that information. But yeah, the patience is the key at the moment, because banks are under pressure with that hardship, as well as trying to get new loan applications through, because funnily enough, at the moment, people are still trying to get loans for buying houses, building houses, business loans and so forth. This situation is going to come to an end at some point, and the people are sort of starting to look at exit strategies now for when that does happen, and get back on with their lives and, doing things that they were going to do anyway.
Yeah, yeah, wow. It's good. It's good that there's still activity. It means it's still a liquid market at the moment.
Yeah, there's still a lot going on. Funnily enough, we're Smartline Dunsborough, and we've had heaps of inquiry the last couple of weeks. So it's an interesting one.
Yeah, good. Now, on the subject of business lending, I'm imagining a lot of people are reaching out to you regarding the government-backed loans or any sort of lending to help business owners at the moment fund their cash flow while their income is quite low and in some cases nil. How are you finding that process is going with the new government initiatives?
Yeah, it's a lot of people are reaching out for that sort of short-term business lending. It's something that we do a fair bit of actually at Smartline. So yeah, the recommendation there is to get in contact with your bank or your broker and just have a chat with them about your specific situation. It's not a one-size-fits-all sort of policy there. So really do need to get the specific details from clients to be able to make recommendations there. Having said that, your short-term business lenders are very, very quick with their turnaround time. So if you've got an issue, you know, paying wages or your cash flow in whatever respect it might be, if you have a chat with those, you know, your Prospers, your Capifys, your Sale, those sort of short-term lenders, they're going to get back to you really quickly, give you a bit of an answer. So you do sort of have that assurity that, you know, it's a yes or no very quickly, basically.
So you can access cash if you really desperately need it at the moment.
Absolutely. You always got to take into account the higher interest rates for those short-term sort of,
Sure.
you know, you're looking at 12 to 24 months, sometimes 36 months with those lenders. So that short-term lending does sort of incur the higher interest rates. So just be aware of that.
And I'm guessing that's unsecured lending, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unsecured business lending. So the advantage there, you don't have to put up any sort of, you know, your home or business premises or whatever it might be. And once again, that attracts the higher interest rates.
Yeah, rightly so. So with working capital loans, I'm guessing the banks, well, any finance company at the moment, will be asking for financial projections or at least some sort of snapshot of where the business is sitting. Are you finding that the banks are still asking for the same type of information as they were before?
Yeah, if anything, they're asking for more information. So you'll find that the low doc lenders are not so much disappearing, but their criteria for who they're have an appetite. Here's my phone. Their appetite is very dependent on the specific situation, and there's a lot of subjectivity still involved with commercial and business loans. So yeah, once again, it really does depend on individuals' specific circumstances and the company.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you. So I'm guessing the banks will want some projections, which obviously is quite hard at the moment to work out, you know, how much income is coming in. It's easier to work out your costs, but the income must be difficult. And is that something that still needs to be provided, a projection of, you know, the cash flow, for example?
Yeah, there's probably going to be a little bit of allowance in terms of that. Different lenders have got different ways that they're going to be taking that into account. So if you've got figures for the last, say, 3-6 months, and your turnover is a certain amount, then that is going to be taken into account with certain lenders. So once again, it's just a matter of having a chat with your broker or your lender or whoever it might be, just to provide those numbers and the situation so that you can get through that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, as long as you've got your ducks in a row, it helps the lenders to then help you.
Having that conversation and those figures available with your accountant is paramount at the moment, as it is always. But right now, it's really important to have that, like you say, have your ducks in a row and ready for whoever needs it.
And I guess, as before, tax debts are still sitting as liabilities for a lot of businesses. And rightly so, everyone is deferring their tax debts at the moment because they need the working capital. I'm guessing that those debts are still considered anyway as future debt.
Yeah, they are, absolutely. So if you've got a $10,000 debt, tax debt is certainly considered a liability with lenders when taking into account your serviceability for, for future credit inquiries. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, do you have any other sort of tips or things that you would like to share with the business owners as well as the community regarding financing?
Yeah, I think the important thing is reach out to your accountant, reach out to your finance broker, reach out to your bank, reach out to each other. I mean, keep the communication lines open. Sometimes you think that something might not be able to be done, and a quick conversation with, your trusted advisor is going to determine whether it can happen, because there's no point in being all down and depressed about something when there might be options and solutions available to you. So make sure you have that conversation.
And I'm guessing the quicker you get onto it, the more chance you have of surviving this sort of difficult downturn that we're experiencing.
Yeah, don't hesitate. People are waiting to, take calls and answer inquiries. So yeah, just do it today.
Good. Well, thank you for your nuggets of knowledge, Andrew.
Nuggets of knowledge. No worries, Simone. Thanks for having me on the show, and I look forward to reversing the role shortly and having a chat with you.
Cool. And so where should people reach out to you? Where can they find you the easiest?
We are next to IGA in Dunsborough. And people can call me on 0409 681 930. I won't repeat that in case I get too many calls, but yeah. So we're Smartline Dunsborough, and check us on the web if you can't find us. I'm sure you'll be able to find it pretty quickly then.
Good. All right. Well, enjoy your work week.
Will do. You too. Thanks, Samantha.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.